What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Skullface.
Hello.
Mr. Just One.
Yo, what's happening?
And Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello.
And tonight we are going to continue with our collection critique, and you know, the routine, check your feelings at the door, and if you'd like to listen to the uncut version of this, please feel free to sign up for the Patreon at the $5 level, where you can get that along with so much more. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start this evening with a one William. So William, this is a mess.
I see what you're trying to do, William. Are these shelves done? That's my first question.
Yeah, they look done. I think you should have painted them just for starters.
But what's wild is it wallpaper on the walls, and he just was like, "F it, I'm going to just bolt right through the wallpaper, like on top of it."
That's a good point.
Yeah. Like that seems crazy to me.
Yeah. So now I imagine he can't take it out to paint it, you know?
Right.
He's trying to display them. It's just too much.
It's too much.
And too littles, ironically, at the same time.
So, yeah, the shelves are distracting from everything that you've got going on. 1, for the color. 2, for these huge bars. I applaud you for... I'm assuming you made these on your own. I hope you didn't buy these from somewhere.
I am loving the tapes hanging in the Detoff. Surprise,
What?
surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
But
That actually doesn't look bad.
No, it looks great.
Yeah, but he used baker's twine. He used f***ing baker's twine.
It's true.
I don't think that's bad. Listen, there's a lot going on, especially if you look at each one of these. There's like a lot of...
I don't think the Detoff shelves, ironically, I don't think they look terrible. There's not really a good way to see them all together, but it looks like...
They're smushed.
In regard to Detoff.
They're smushed.
They're smushed.
You're out of your mind.
Well, this one's smushed, but this one's not
even like,
smushed.
That's the only one. The Decepticon one is the only one that's not smushed. Okay. The other ones...
I like that one.
It's still kind of smushed.
Yeah.
And then you got like the Autobot one with the Prime, and it's like, isn't that Toy Hacks, like their poster whenever you bought like a sticker pack? Isn't that what they sent you?
Yeah, but I love that clear border he has around that poster.
But you got it laminated.
I actually really like the wallpaper.
Yeah, the wallpaper's nice. The wallpaper's nice. He lowered the value of the wallpaper with the shelves. But I mean, in regard to those shelves, like it's just 1,000 figures. They're all crushed in there.
Yeah, you really can't see.
Yeah, it's too much. It's not lit. It's dark. The Detoff's on the floor. This is a mess.
I guess ultimately these are the shelves that you got. So the typical stuff, rearrange them so they're more interesting. So it's not just a sea of these, especially that bottom row of these brown shells. So it's not just a sea of plastic that you can't make out what it is.
And then there's this black bookshelf thing, and like I feel like some of this actually looks good, but like the bigger books that are more like they're similar, like they're consistent, like specifically on the first shelves, like move those down to the bottom and
like
I agree.
Full,
and ground this thing.
Yeah.
Well, look at that top left shelf real fast at this whatever this series of books is. That's pink and yellow, and if you look real fast, it just looks like he's got a collection of Starburst.
Yeah. I would break this up too, because basically it looks like you have four empty shelves worth of space there. You could stagger your books or mix and match with figures. You could have some figure shelves or books and figure shelves.
Yeah.
You could do something nice here.
And then
100%.
What the hell is this Mirage in a candle glass? Like
that's his force field.
Why did he send this like it's special? Is it special?
It's really special.
Is it?
It's his.
I mean, maybe it's custom made.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think that your shelves are a bad idea, the floating shelves, but you just need with the amount of figures that you have here, you would just need so much more in risers and everything else. Like I would have painted them before you put them on. I honestly, I hate to say this. I think you need to start over.
But yeah, that bottom shelf in particular, like Jisk said, like they're just, the sea of plastic is a good, term there. They need to fill the vertical space, not half of it, and then they need to be multi-level, not all. I mean, he's tried to make this scene on the top. I don't really know what it is.
I'm guessing it's like Phase Sixers tearing apart the one guy from the Scavengers. All right, let's go on to the next one. This is Mark. Mark has a whole TIE Fighter pilot in his basement. I guess that's his cosplay, like 501st material, I would imagine. I feel like he hasn't quite figured this out yet.
I mean,
no, you're right. It's like all the components are there.
Yeah.
Super neat.
It's very neat. Mm-hmm. It's not crowded. I think that like the floating shells with the G1 stuff actually looks pretty sharp.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't match, which is weird, but it looks sharp. I think that like the Transformers that he has on this seemingly Billy type thing are well spread out. They're decently displayed. They could use some love on the posing. I think what the biggest problem with this display is
get those boxes.
You got to get those boxes out of there.
Yeah,
I agree. Boxes are garbage.
Yeah,
get rid of them.
It looks like you have like it looks like you're keeping trash around your shelves.
Let me tell you a secret, buddy. No one cares.
Yeah,
I don't know that it may not be the way that he's got it. I don't think it's for like. I think it's storage. I don't know that he has anywhere else to store them. Yeah,
right, get rid of them.
I don't know that I'd get rid of them.
I disagree. I keep my boxes.
I think you could put them in a closet somewhere, maybe.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, just get rid of them.
No,
get rid of you. No one cares about your MP boxes. They're trash. You're collecting trash. Your whole display is suffering because of that.
Agreed.
Why don't you keep your Black Series boxes and display those too?
I guess
because you know better.
Yeah, I'll say if you're never going to sell these things, you get rid of the boxes.
It's not worth keeping it.
I think literally that's true. It is actually true because if you calculate what you're spending per square foot in either rent or mortgage for the space you're storing that box in, you are not recouping that money when you sell the figure in box.
I agree.
You've lost money.
I don't look at it that way. I don't buy things that are without a box.
I think I'd keep incomplete. The box. I'd keep the box, but I'm sure you have a closet somewhere.
You may not, just, but people do.
No, for sure.
And the money for selling it is marginal. But what I do like is it looks like you're starting to work on some dioramas, like the indoor one,
speeder one,
and the sand one leaves a little bit to be desired. But like, I think that that's the beginning of something. It starts to look, like it's got some life in it. Like you got a little scene going on. I dig that. And then you got Jabba and Leia sitting on top of another couple boxes. Get rid of the boxes. Yeah. Get rid of them or find a place to store them. I don't care. I don't care if you throw them away or keep them. But if you don't have room for them in your house and you have to keep them here, it's not worth it.
Do you see an issue with the vertical space with his Star Wars stuff? Some of it.
Yeah. Specifically like the middle shelves. Yeah. If these are Billy's, what you can do is buy additional shelving,
But that's almost too much.
Get risers?
No. Like you can buy additional shelves for Billy's.
But that affects the light though. But what if
it does? It does.
Billy's are deep, and if you just put clear risers behind them, you can get
or continue to work on dioramas. I think that you know how to set a shelf up, and I think that you know how to make things look clean, and you don't overcrowd. Generally speaking,
I think you just have to find some other option for the boxes.
You just got to clean up the space.
Yep.
It's not a shelf issue. It's not a toy issue. It's not a display issue. It's a space issue, and it's your trash. It's your leftover thing. Like it's true. It's like it's your leftover things. Imagine anything else in life, right? Like imagine that aside from you, just because I know you keep your ceiling fan boxes, but imagine you bought you bought a ceiling fan, right? And you kept the ceiling fan box in your garage. And in the rare case that you might sell it, and then someone would be like, "Well, where's the box for your used ceiling fan?" I agree it's best to have the boxes. It is best to have them. I agree. But if you don't have room in the house for them, and this is your only way that you can keep the boxes, get rid of them.
This is not having room.
Correct. That's the truth. If this is your only way to have room for the boxes, the truth is you don't have room for the boxes.
Yep. You better off with a lamp in that corner. Jesus.
Agreed. A lamp would actually probably look great.
Yeah, I know. And you know what I do think, though? The box, I've been thinking about this because I love the G1 figures, but I really don't like them on display. I think the best way to display them is in box because I remember so much of them as a kid drooling over them in the store. I agree.
But I do think his G1 stuff looks great here.
It does.
Let's move on to the next one. So this is from Gavin, and he is a DTOF guy. So like the last time I said it was a Macross collection, I said they were Gundam because I was half in the bag, and people are like, "Oh, dummy, pictured, not Gundam." I believe these are actually Gundam, and I think that a lot of these look good in the Detolf, specifically when it's like one or two pieces that are big. As you get into like the third row of shelves at the bottom and the fourth row of shelves at the bottom, I think it starts to look a little junky. But the top shelf and the second shelf look pretty good.
Right. 1 to 3 pieces is kind of the max depending upon their size.
Yeah.
Like that first shelf is, I think, the best one.
Agreed.
This middle one, though, is a little
much.
I think you can that out.
If you actually look to the ones, like the one in the upper right-hand corner is the best one. It's one piece.
Yeah.
It fills the space. Looks like it belongs there.
I like the one second row down in the middle. That's a nice one, too.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not bad. It's fine, but it can't mess with that one in the upper right-hand corner. That looks like it belongs there.
You know what displays well, though? The Flame Toy shelves. He displays them pretty nicely with the comics.
I think they're cool, but I think I think this isn't fully realized yet. Like, I don't know if the comics need to be raised or the figure needs to be raised, but something is off there, too.
Yeah, I think if the comic was up a little bit, that would help because it's kind of completely blocking.
Yeah. He took out a shelf to put his Devastator in, where he like lowered a shelf, and I don't like it when you just like look at it close. But when you look at the full picture of it, because it's in the middle,
yeah, it works.
I don't mind it. But I honestly, I wish it was kind of in the middle of that Detolf as opposed to the top.
Do you like the lighting?
The lighting's fine. I think the lighting's fine.
They're puck
good.
lights. They're puck lights, but they seem to be pretty effective puck lights. Based
Right,
on
that's what I was going to say. They're
And
bright.
unobtrusive as well, huh? For puck lights.
Yeah.
Except, what about why don't you got some puck lights on your ceiling, man? What's on top of those Detolfs, bud?
Yeah. So this is another one. Like the Detolfs would look better raised. They
And
occupy
you
that
can
space.
the stuff on top.
I don't think the Transformers look great in them. I'm just going to say it. It's rare that Transformers look great in a Detolf. I don't think you pulled it off here. The one shelf that looks good is the Gundam, specifically that upper right and upper left. I think that space with your couch with like the posters around it, that looks fantastic. Like I think we have those same couch cushions.
Yeah, that's very Bobby Skullface.
If not, it's very similar.
Very similar.
But I like that. I like the little TV setup. Like I like the chill. I like the living space.
Oh, that's a futon. Baby.
For me, I'm very much a person that likes like symmetry. So just going back and looking at this full wall of Detolfs, I think if you're able to get some kind of stands for the Transformers for some of them, it would match at least what's going on with the Gundam and maybe look like it would balance it out.
Too many of them
because it feels so light on the left side and so heavy on the right.
You're right.
Side.
You're very right. Yeah, you're right. And light your top shelf. Light the top of your Detolfs.
Yeah, you definitely need that.
Yeah. The Transformers look very crowded for the most part.
I mean, it's off to a good start, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a person that cares.
I think
about
this
what
is
he's doing.
I do too. But I think this is actually and I think this was off to a good start and is now dangerously heading towards disaster. You need to take pieces out of here. You cannot add anything else.
Look, he's got his Batmobile under and inside his glass coffee table.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is it? Oh, it is. I thought it was on top. But
I thought it was on top until you said that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the last one. This is from Raymond, and I like a lot of this. Don't love all of it, but I do. I like the combiners in the middle with like the lights behind it, and then the kind of Motor Master with a couple bots in front of it. Like I sort of like that overall.
I think Omega and the Autobots need to be in the center for now.
Yeah, maybe. I don't care really, but but maybe.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Robert.
Yeah.
Like for
Oh, look at that. He's got Unicron in.
nice job at least painting the wall. Like I know a lot of people paint the walls, but it's the first time we've seen like a real red wall.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I think it looks good too. I would definitely raise the Detolf. Like if you can raise the Detolfs, and then I would think about just a different piece of furniture for under the TV. You don't need to change what you have displayed in there, maybe with the exception of just cleaning up that bottom shelf. But I just think that that piece of furniture doesn't go well with the Detolf.
I don't love that. I don't love that piece of furniture.
I think the Detolfs are some of the best laid out Detolfs we've seen.
This prime shelf specifically, it's because you're using the whole space. You've got all these, you got the Datsuns on clear risers, followed by two taller figures and the smaller one. So there's a ton of stuff in there, but it doesn't feel overcrowded. Agreed. Because of the way you have it tiered.
Agreed. I think the Detolfs are really well laid out.
Yeah.
No, man. How can you, the bottom shelves of them, like that Unicron, Armada Unicron?
No,
box?
No, it's a weird choice, but it doesn't
It
look.
does take up the space.
It takes up the space. Like it doesn't look unnatural in there. Like you know what that is, but if you didn't know what that is and you were just looking at the space, you'd be like, yeah, that looks all right.
Yeah,
I would bring the Armada Unicron forward more.
Yeah, because the Prime is.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to pose his
overkill.
He has to pose him just as well. He's got his prime posed, but it should be posed just as well as his prime is posed.
I don't know if it can.
Well, then his prime shouldn't be posed as well as.
But his prime might be on some. Excuse me, pardon me.
I think the LED lights are a little bit tricky because they sort of really light that middle shelf and then leave the top and the bottom shelf in so much darkness.
Yeah.
In the reddish color, I guess not so much. When you just look at those top two, it doesn't look as dramatic. But I feel like when you look at this one with the green, it's like you can see the middle shelf.
Mine's posed better than his.
I don't think this is bad
overall.
Either. Like, this is probably my favorite one that we've looked at tonight. And I think it's easily the most fixable one that we've looked at tonight.
See, let me just say this too. If you're done collecting, it's perfect. You just need to rearrange furniture. If you're going to continue collecting, then you got a big problem on your hands.
Yeah, that's true.
Cottage cheese, wallpaper.
A foot covered with a sock so you can't see the toe rings. And pumpkin spice latte.
Ooh, the recipe for orange crushes.
Ooh.
Fair enough.